shit out, man. Check this out. Yo, man, check this shit out, man. Check this out. Out there, just like you out there in the street, man. The street. You know what I'm saying? For our people out here, man. Yeah. Waking you up from the grave, man. It's 1969. Blacks, Hispanics, Native American. Check me out, though. Dead men walking. Bullet shots unguided. Same pottery, different hood, yet we divided. Bang coast like pirates. Inside, I'm a riot. Minds frame library, so I'ma keep quiet. I'm about to explode from the impact of this pressure. Slay fire breathing dragons as I march the desert. Walk with no sight, your faith will measure. Diamonds made from rock, now that's our body treasure. Born in the pressure, forced to maintain. Yoke the iron, to wrapped in them prison chains. Animal instincts when niggas is caged. Resorting to violence, here's a plate of my rage. Action without a cause, you living with no life. Killing demons while it's great so you can get right. You say you want the kingdom, you gon' have to fight. Tunnel vision, one west, Lord, I see the light. Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave. Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave. Been at the end of the tunnel, I could see the light. Before I had a car, bus past in a bike. If you ready for war, let's knuckle up and fight. Who would've known a pair of black boots to save my life? Before I had a full time, I was a drug dealer. Blood on my hands, but never claimed to be a killer. Yell like a bear, stand strong like gorillas. The Lord showed me U.P.K, now I'm a winner. Nightmares are falling weak to them old days. Niggas rather stay lost looking both ways. Brothers kicking so much knowledge, never question age. As I approach the mic, I'm looking through my shades. Back then, it was peak coats for the winners. Now it's trench coats with fringes, tell me who sent you. Cut through flesh and bones with just Bible scripture. The white man, the goddamn devil, do you need a picture? Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave. Truth in my veins, as I slide on my shades. War scarf, shoulda David hanging from my chain. The world say we strange. Teach you how to change, one west, waking brothers up from the grave.
Speaking about some wild.
Remember this, man. One west, one west, one west. Ay. Remember this, man. One west, one west, one west. Ay. I'm the commander, GEN.YAHANNA, you understand? We out to bring nothing but the truth. All you perpetrators out there, man, be ready to be destroyed out there, man. We out here standing for our people. Wow.
Good throw back from that mighty officer, man. With that, let me say, Shalom, Yahweh, Hashem, Yahweh, Shabbat, all of Israel. This I.S.U.P.K, Kentucky, coming out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commander General Yohanna. I preach if you want. You can go in there and get yourself right. This our scripture breakdown class on this Thursday, man. And as you can see, man, we're going to talk about how people are so quick, man, to honor and pray for others. As you all know what's going on with this Ukraine and this setting for world war that's going on. I want to talk about today how our people are so quick, man, to pray and say we are Ukraine and all of these big, sayings and all of these big things that catch on while that so-called tragedy is going on. But I'd like to first say this. During the State of the Union, there was a State of the Union, and this president of these United States, Biden, he had a speech, and so often the new president comes in and he'll do his State of the Union, and then they do it. I believe it's I forget, Salakia, y'all can look that up, but I believe they do it every 4 years. It's not like something that always happens like every year, I don't believe, but it may be. You can look that up. But during the State of the Union, there was a very powerful moment that happened that many might have missed. And it was very simple. It was a moment when the Hispanic caucus, the Black caucus, these are supposed to be the lawmakers and the people who stand and protect the Black, Hispanic, and Native American people. As they say, they stand for and with the minority here in this country. Specifically, they call themselves the Black caucus, and the other calls itself the Hispanic caucus. So they are lawmakers with the interests of Black and Hispanic people. And they are so supportive of a crisis that America either likes or doesn't like. They're on one side of it. They just so happen to be on the side of the Ukrainians during, this attack by the Russians. So the Black caucus, the so-called leadership of Black people in this country are so excited and so with the Ukrainian people and have so much tears and sadness for the destruction of their people, when they never have that energy when it comes to the destruction of our people, Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. It's never the same energy, man. And we could go back to any crisis you would like to go to. Yes, there becomes points and times when they feel wronged and they feel that they have to beg the oppressor because they see the oppressor as their master. It's their daddy. They want to be accepted by our oppressor. But let's think about this Ukraine incident real quick. Let's think about it. It has nothing to do with Black, Hispanic people. Nothing. And in all actuality, if you are a lover of the Bible, you're supposed to be celebrating the destruction of the wicked. Because make no mistake about it, Ukraine is not a righteous nation. It is a very evil and wicked nation. It was once formerly part of the Soviet Union, which was a direct enemy of the United States. They weren't clapping for Ukraine then. They weren't clapping for Crimea and that region then. They hated that region when the nuclear accident happened at, what was that place called? Salakia, y'all. There was a nuclear disaster, and that's the first place Russia just went and took over when they first came over there. Chabot, whatever the hell it is. Y'all look that up too. All you got to do is Google nuclear facility in Ukraine. So my point is this: America, and bear with me, y'all, bear with me. America spoke wickedly and evil about that region and even had nuclear weapons aimed at it. Was ready to kill the same people at any moment's notice that they now pray for. Black man, Hispanic man, Native Indian, this has nothing to do with you. And you should be celebrating the destruction of these evil people, man. If you will, give me Proverbs 11 and 10.
Sir. The book of Proverbs, chapter 11, verse 10.
Go ahead.
When it goeth well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth.
Let me tell you something. What's going well with our people? What's going well with us? Because when the Bible speaks of the righteous, it's actually speaking of the Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians that are doing the Lord's work. We are amongst you, though. We are amongst you people that love what our oppressor loves. If he tells you to clap for Ukraine, you clap for Ukraine. When Ukraine has done nothing for Black people, man. Nothing. What the hell do you think would happen if someone killed you broad daylight, point blank in Ukraine and say they felt threatened? You'd be treated just like you treat it over here, if not worse. So what are your prayers for Ukraine for? Go ahead.
And when the wicked perish, there is shouting.
Let me tell you something. When Russia's dropping those bombs over there, the wicked is perishing. You Negroes shout for any reason on Sunday. You run up and down the church, do flips, you twerk, you do all this garbage in church for any given reason on any given Sunday. You should be rejoicing, dancing, and celebrating while the destruction of the wicked is happening before your eyes, man. And these evil people that destroy you daily, physically and mentally, are about to be drawn into destruction, which is what you should want, so the righteous can rejoice. Because we will be in rulership, man. You up here praying for Ukraine. I seen a Negro in church with his hand on the video thing and had Ukraine up there, and the black churches is crying out and sending these prayers for Ukraine. What about the west end of Kentucky, man? The west end of Louisville down over there. What are prayers at for them brothers and sisters over there that's living in destruction? What about the prayer for Chicago, Detroit, Indianapolis, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Dayton? You can just continue with Iowa. You can go to Florida, New York. What about our people who needs those prayers, who needs that exposure? You Negroes is getting up and clapping because of something Biden said that has nothing to do with you and your people, man. Nothing to do with us. A tank in Kiev is nothing to us. It is entertainment for you to get popped. It's like a Netflix show. Get you some popcorn and watch the destruction of the spirit and the people carrying it that has destroyed your people. That's what you should be celebrating, man. You shouldn't be up here talking about some people on Facebook changing the picture to Ukraine. Ukraine? This is crazy, man. Ukraine. Year or so or whatever, it was France. You see what I'm saying? Anything our oppressor mourns, you mourn with him. But he doesn't mourn your death. He tells you to get over your oppression. He tells you it's over with. Get over it. We're going to go over later where Ukraine is just another neo-Nazi racist country to black people, man. Why would you pray for them, man? You can go ahead and drop that, and you can give me Proverbs 29:2. Because the state of the earth is not a place where Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians should be celebrating, because we're dying. I mean, some celebrations should begin because we're slowly seeing the death of our enemies. You got that? Go ahead.
Concept. The book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 2.
Go ahead.
When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice.
When we get into authority, when there's a righteous ruler, the people are happy. The people rejoice. It's something to stand up and clap about. Go ahead.
But when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn.
Let me tell you something, man. Y'all don't realize that when you stand up and pray and clap for Ukraine, you look very sad. To the rest of the world, it looks like you are mourning. Trust me, you might have a smile on your face, but that smile only shows destruction, man. You sitting up here praying and wishing well for a people that would not give a damn about you, because I can guarantee you, when Tamir Rice died, and that happened over there, they laughed at that. There wasn't no outrage marching in the streets of Ukraine with no Tamir Rice signs, man. They didn't give a damn about that. Now, when they started seeing some white people marching with the BLM and the Breonna Taylors and Floyds and all of that case, you might have had a couple of them in Britain or whatever the case may be. But that's because they seen their people marching. If this earth is here 100 years from now, George Floyd gonna be a white man. They gonna turn him white. He gonna be white. Brown, everybody that the white folks was marching for, they gonna be white people. They're gonna be played by white people at least. It is disgusting, man, and very telling of a people who mourn others but don't mourn their own. You don't have that same vigor. You don't have that same passion when it comes to your people dying. The only thing you may do is bust a window out and do something that just shows how weak and hurt you are. But you won't change spiritually the one thing that can stop the bloodshed of your people. The one thing that can bring you protection from this animal we are oppressed by. You won't do it. And you are praying for Ukraine because you don't want a nuclear war, because of the love you have for this world, man. You never want this world to end. You flourish in the evilness of this world. It's everything to you. All of the devices that you have, all of your weakness, it is everything to you to be in this world and to be seen as equal and to be seen as a part of it, to be recognized, to be tolerated. And it just shows how sick and how much medical attention you need for you, a black, Hispanic, or Native Indian, to be on your knees praying for Ukraine. That is absolutely retarded. And I don't care nothing about no political correctness. I'm going to call it what it is. Retardation. There is something wrong with you, man. There is a war going on tonight in LA where black people are killing each other for nothing. And your prayers are for Ukraine? Let me tell you something, man. The white man is the devil the Bible speaks of. So go ahead and go to Isaiah 10:1. Because Ukraine is simply an evil nation that is getting what they deserve. I hope that someone that's watching this that wants to pray and love, Ukraine so much, I hope you understand what I just said. Ukraine is an evil nation getting exactly what they deserve. Go ahead and read that when you got it, Baba Bashar.
Khan, the book of Isaiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Woe to them that decree unrighteous decrees.
Let me tell you something. It's unrighteous to have a nuclear facility and threaten the world with it. That region has done it before. It is unrighteous to have the attitude and the posture of skinheads, of neo-Nazis, That is unrighteous to black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
And that right grievousness which they have prescribed.
Let me tell you something. This is of their own undoing. You understand that? Ukraine was a part of the Soviet Union, decided to go against their people for favor of the Westerners. They like the Western greed more than they like the greed of the Russians. So they left the Soviet Union and became Ukraine. Okay? Let me ask y'all a question, man. Let me break something down real quick. What do you think the United States of America would do if Florida said, we're not America no more? We're friends with China or Russia now. Their ports are now our ports. Our airspace is now their airspace. What you think America would do? Would they not invade and get rid of the treasonous government that changed and went against them? Of course they would. Moral to the story is, this is white on white crime, y'all. This is white people's business and has nothing to do with you. We can't stop getting shot like dogs in the street, but I'm going to clap for the very nation that wants to protect another nation. I mean, it's senseless. It doesn't make no sense. Of course America would do the same thing the Russians are doing. Ukraine has become a threat. But once again, the moral of that story is, it's none of my business. I'm going to grab some popcorn and watch the buildings drop. Ooh. You see that? Big flash, bomb. I'm like, wow. It's none of my business, man. And it's okay when they watch us on Facebook Live getting our heads blown off and it becomes international hits and they love it. Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man, the time has come, man, for us to understand that we are the Lord's chosen people. How dare we pick another nation to be a part of, to be weak under? They like it, so we love it. Go ahead and give me Isaiah 3:11, Baba Kushah. Because the Bible warns the wicked. How dare we pray against the Bible? You're going to pray against your own. America would never go against their constitution to help another people, man. It's that silly. They would never do it. But that's what you're doing while you pray for Ukraine. Go ahead.
The book of Isaiah chapter 3, verse 11. Woe unto the wicked. It shall be ill with him.
Let me tell you something. Woe unto death and destruction unto the wicked, period. Period. Ukraine is a wicked country, just like America. I'm not going to sit up here and say, pray for America. If bombs and stuff get to dropping, I'm going to understand the Most High is punishing the wicked. And I have to pray that I am satisfiable in the Most High's eyes. But to pray for, Salaki, everybody, but it's just so oversaturated with the prayers for Ukraine, man. And everyone feeling so somber and sad. Because as the news put it, these aren't Arabs running from bombs. These are blonde hair and blue-eyed Europeans. These are civilized people they used on the news. And you just the follower of them, man. You're just the follower. Like I said, they like it, you love it. I bet you if they sent a platoon of black and Hispanics over there, they'd kill every Russian over there. That's how hard they fight, man. That's how powerful they would be just to make America proud of them, to try to be accepted. You need that same vigor, that same love for the Most High, man. If you will, Baba Kwashah, read this right here for me. This skinhead's attacks right there. Just go ahead and read that for me.
Skinhead attacks on the rise in Ukraine.
Go ahead.
This is from the Eurasia Daily Monitor. May 13th, 2005, 4 a.m., age 17. 17 years since the Orange Revolution in November.
That's part of their stray away from Russia. Go ahead.
There have been a growing number of attacks by extreme right groups against Westerners in Ukraine.
At this time, the Ukrainian people and the people of Belarus and Western Russia were saying that the skinheads were attacking Westerners. Continue.
These attacks are commonly blamed on skinheads, but real skinheads have denied involvement.
Go ahead.
Saying that their only targets are individuals with darker colored skin.
Go ahead.
Not Westerners per se.
Individuals as what?
Darker colored skin, not Westerners per se.
See, I read this story because I want to get your brain working to go research yourself. Now, this was a big thing because now they're joining the West. So there was elements in that region saying, well, wait a minute. These skinheads attack Westerners, man. We got to stop this. So now the leaders of the skinheads was telling them, man, we only attack blacks and darker skinned people, man. And Ukraine was okay. The moral of the story is this. Those skinheads that are tens of thousands deep in Kiev, the capital, and all around Ukraine, are now those idiots that you see on the front line. Look at them. They showing them on the news with the cross and the swastika. Look at them. Giving them guns. Now they're heroes. But back when they said, hey, we're not going to mess with no Westerners. Because don't forget, at first they didn't like Westerners. You see what I'm saying? Russia didn't like Westerners. The Soviet Union didn't like Europe. They didn't call themselves Europeans. They were just Caucasians, and they were the Soviet Union. Germany was the beginning of Europe. That's why you had East in Germany when the wall was up, and they knocked down that wall. Well, I don't think that was that old cracker Reagan. Listen, man, all they had to say was, no, we only kill black people, man. We only darker skinned people are endangered here. Now, I understand, let me get that real quick. Now, I understand that means nothing. That means absolutely nothing to most. It means nothing. because that's how sick you are. You are praying and asking for protection for just another white supremacist nation. That's all you're doing. The same thing you did for America, the same thing you wanted protection for America and the Klan, and you prayed for that, and it only got your children killed years later. Marching and we shall overcome and all of this hoopla garbage you want to do up and down the goddamn street, putting young black women in harm's way from dogs and water hoses and crazy maniac white men that just wanted to kill them, and just to say you're going to overcome. Well, you ain't overcame shit yet. You ain't overcame nothing. You're still getting lynched. They just passed the lynch law that made lynching a federal crime. It's 2022. See, if y'all smart, you better start watching C-SPAN and some of these other news and watching Congress, because now is when they're going to slide all these little things through, because you're just stuck on Ukraine. Look it up. They just passed a lynching law that makes lynching a federal crime. So now lynching is a hate crime. What the hell was it before? It wasn't a hate crime. Federally, it's a hate crime. And the senator, Salakia, the congressman from Kentucky, I don't know his name right off, but if once again, Salakia for that, because that wasn't really my topic, but there's a congressman in Kentucky that voted no. There was 3 congressmen that voted no. One of them was a Kentucky congressman. He voted no because he told on himself in his dissent, because he said that that's a blanket statement to say that lynching is a hate crime. So now he's concerned about people's freedom of speech and the intent of it. So he's admitting that lynching is a statement. It's a tactic. It's a statement being made, and he wants that protected. And I guess you're gonna pray for him too. I guess you're gonna want him protected by a power that wants to protect you and destroy him. But instead of your protection, you'll pray for his, denying your own. You would rather pray for Ukraine and disrespect the power that wants to protect you. You'll deny your own salvation to try and protect the devil the Bible speaks of, man. You are a sick people. I would say we are a sick people, but I accepted the medicine. I accepted the medicine that Commanding General Yohanna had, and it worked, because I was a damn buffoon just like you. I probably would have had the mental of pray for Ukraine and let's go kill somebody tonight. But the medicine works. The truth that only the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yohanna has, it works. Because believe me, you wouldn't be worried about a people that only want your destruction, man. I went through the skinheads in Ukraine because, let me tell you something, man. Ukraine it's a westernized nation that still believes like every Western nation believes. You are below them, black man, Hispanic man, Native man. I don't give a damn if you are the president. You can't go over there and get the respect of their oligarchs, of their high, the people that they see as high. You're still nothing to them. So act like you're nothing to them, man. To hell with Ukraine, man. And let them suffer for their decisions. Let them suffer for the evil acts that they performed against their own people, man. Because it is white on white crime. Make no mistake about it. So the so-called courage that the Black Caucus wants to speak about, that you celebrate the Ukrainians having, that's an actual abomination to the Most High. Go ahead and give me Proverbs 15:8, Baba Kushah. The sacrifices and the courage and they walked into the middle of the highway and stopped for tank. This is a courageous people. They're sacrificing their lives. They're such a great and strong and powerful people. Salakia, man. Listen, and we celebrate that, man. Go ahead and read that when you got it.
Khan, the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 8.
Go ahead.
The sacrifice of the wicked.
The what?
The sacrifice of the wicked.
Go ahead.
Is an abomination to the Lord.
It's a what?
An abomination to the Lord.
Go ahead.
But the prayer of the upright is his delight.
You're not upright. I want to, that part right there is so heavy to me. Everything that they are doing over there is an abomination to the Most High, man. Them is wicked, evil people. Give a damn about them running out in front of no goddamn tank. Your prayers, if that was for the Crips, could work. If that was for the Essays, the Serenos, your prayers could work. If that was for the pimps, the prostitutes, the dope dealers, your prayers could work, because that is the oppressed, man. That is the oppressed. Them Ukrainians are evil, man. Now, they may be the greatest people on earth towards each other. Take your black Hispanic tail over there and let's see just how compassionate they are. There were stories coming out that they had all the black people, or the darker people, I don't know if it was Africans or what. The point is we all the same to them. And they made those people wait. White people crossed the border first. And these are who your prayers are for. Read that from the top, Baba Kushah.
Khan, the book of Proverbs, chapter 15, verse 8.
Go ahead.
The sacrifice of the wicked.
I don't give a damn if you see a fat white man jump in the middle of the street and land on the floor shooting an AK. And you think that's the most heroic thing you've ever seen in your life. That is an evil man. That's an abomination. Go ahead.
Is an abomination to the Lord.
Go ahead.
But the prayer of the upright is his delight.
I'm going to pray for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians to get up out of this condition. That's what I'm going to pray for. I'm doing the Lord's work. And I'm going to pray that we no longer have the compassion and love for you. I pray that the Russians do a line of meth, okay, and lose their damn minds and just start shooting every nuke they have. Because I know one thing, I believe in the Bible. It's gonna happen. Why not in my lifetime? I pray they do a Scarface line of meth and hit every button they have. Listen, Christ is going to come. Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge will be your defenders in this kingdom. That white man business, you think the white man can destroy the earth. You think he can because you're so afraid of him and you don't think that your power can protect you from his destruction because the white man is your God. The only thing you know is they have enough nuclear weapons to destroy the world time and time over and over. Yeah, okay, that might be true. I know that my power can make me miss that. However he decided to do it, I can miss that. And I'm going to stand on that. I'm going to stand on it so strongly that I pray that this white on white crime gets so bad that they have to exterminate each other, man. And that sky cracks, and let's see who the Power Rangers is then. Let's see who all of these fancy names and all of this crazy things y'all want to call us. Let's see who the crazy ones are then. Go ahead and give me John 9:31, the Bible Kushah, because the sacrifice, that sacrifice of the wicked being the abomination, remember that. All the heroic acts that you see these evil people doing, it's an abomination, man. It don't mean nothing to the Most High. You got that?
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 32.
31, Salaki. And I want to read this because of this. You pray all you want to. You go ahead. You're just looking ignorant and stupid as you pray for Ukraine. And on this scripture, I'm only talking to Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. Go ahead.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners.
Let me tell you something. You evil Negroes following this enemy of ours, don't hear those prayers. You're just putting your hand on a picture of Ukraine, looking like an idiot. Making sure deep down your congregation sees how weak you are. Because you ain't do that when Ice Dog and Jay Bird and whoever died. You didn't do that. You use white man talking points against us. The black man need to this, the black woman need to this, and all of these other things. But you said nothing about them coming back to the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Because we know what sin is. Sin is transgression of the law. So you sinners who transgress against the law because you want to teach that the laws are done away with because your white daddy taught you that. Your ignorant prayers that you do are not even heard according to the Bible. So you're just putting on a show. Read that from the top, Baba Kushah.
The book of John, chapter 9, verse 31. Now we know that God heareth not sinners. But if any man be a worshiper of God.
Be a what?
Be a worshiper of God.
Go ahead.
And doeth his will.
And do what?
And doeth his will.
Go ahead.
Him he heareth.
Let me tell you something. He's going to hear my prayer. He's going to hear the prayers of the priest and prophet that want destruction. That wants that woe to be a reality. Want to see it. As we're witnessing things with our very eyes. Don't you know that today, just a couple of hours ago, Russia attacked Chernobyl. I think it's Chernobyl. Russia is attacking a nuclear facility. That's how desperate they are. Because one of their #1 commanders got sniped. So now they crazy. They shooting missiles at a nuclear facility that could cause a nuclear disaster. Once that nuclear disaster goes off, you have NATO countries. Poland would be at threat for nuclear harm. You gotta shoot them off. You can't let Russia secretly shoot a nuke. That's like a secret shot of a nuke. Like, we didn't shoot no nukes, we just shot a missile at a facility. And it blew up, it was a mistake. But that facility is a bomb. If that blows, it's a nuclear bomb. Let me tell y'all something, man. A little quick side note. Get into the I.S.U.P.K. and the Commanding General Yohanna right now. Your children deserve it. Your wife, your mama, your brother, everybody deserves it. Because maybe you be that one that makes them do it. If not, protect your spirit, man, and get that salvation. Because this is different. This is not the same thing. Russia attacked Crimea a year or so ago. They did that in how many days? 2 days? A day? That was nothing. This is different. The resistance is different. The death toll is different. America, Germany, all these other countries have been funneling weapons, and Russia's now realizing that under our nose, y'all been giving them Stinger missiles? They got recon to kill our commanders? Oh, y'all, that's how we getting down? Now all bets is off. Now you got China, full-fledged. We ride with Russia. Straight up. Well, don't worry about it. We're your biggest trading partner. Sanctions ain't gonna do nothing. Whatever you wanna do, we with you. It's time for you to learn the truth, and not only learn it, but follow it. Get deeply rooted in the truth so this truth never leaves you. There's gonna be a lot of exposing. There's gonna be a lot of truth that comes out, man. It's that time. It's real. And it's happening. It's not a game. Your reverend does not want this world to end. He likes your wife too much. He loves your little kids. I mean, he doesn't want this world to end. He's living deliciously. And he wants to continue it, man. Go ahead and give me Zechariah 11:5 and hold that. Because I gotta reiterate, the hell with Ukraine, man. Ukraine is nothing. That should never come out of your mouth. You should never pray for Ukraine. You should never feel sorrow for Ukraine. Ukraine feels no of sorrow for you. You should feel sorrow for the Crips, the GDs, the Bloods, our people who are sinning, that needs to get out of that lifestyle, that needs to understand who they are, because they know not what they do. We need those downtrodden, the lost sheep. Those are who our prayers should be for, and not only our prayers, but our actions, man. What the hell y'all gonna do, man? Y'all gonna get a bunch of blankets and send them way over to Ukraine? Man, y'all don't get the hell out of here with that, man. It's just ridiculous, man. It's just ridiculous, man. So while you pray for Ukraine and their skinheads, and they're Aryan believing people who would probably laugh at you if they even heard you was praying for them, would probably say, we don't need those mitzvahs. I don't know, it sound like nigga in Ukraine. I don't know if that's a real Ukrainian nigga word, but it just sounds like something they call us, you know what I'm saying? And we don't need y'all prayers, man. Y'all better pray for yourself. That's what the Ukrainians are saying. You got Zechariah 11:5? Because the devil always says, and I want to read this because now I want to get on something that happened today in the Breonna case that is like I said, you don't hear about it. It's not big news because you Negroes is talking about Ukraine. When something happened today that is so heavy to me and so evil, it's so evil, man. As we all know, during the Breonna Taylor case, there was no culpability. There was no, everyone's innocent. There was no wrongdoing saw in the whole Breonna case. One man was charged with reckless endangerment because he shot 10 times. In Breonna Taylor's apartment, he shot. This is one officer, not the other ones that killed her. But he shot 10 times. None of his bullets hit Breonna Taylor, but his bullets hit into another apartment that had kids, a father, and had other occupants in it. Well, he was found not guilty. Go ahead and read that.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 11, verse 5. Whose possessors slay them.
They kill us, man. Go ahead.
And hold themselves not guilty.
I want you to remember that. Hold themselves not guilty. Go ahead.
And they that sell them say, blessed be the Lord.
Wow. Wow. Go ahead.
For I am rich, and their own shepherds pity them not.
Let me tell you something, man. Them preachers, white America, supported that ruling in the Breonna Taylor case. They supported it. Now, I want to go over something real quick. There was a no-knock warrant. First, let me read something real quick. Officer acquitted of endangering Breonna Taylor's neighbors during raid, Brett Hankerson, the only officer who was charged after the police raid, fired 10 bullets into Miss Taylor's apartment, 3 pierced a wall and flew into another apartment where a family slept. Okay? So, let's go over something real quick. Breonna Taylor was killed during a no-knock warrant. This is a surprise attack. The man of her house grabbed a firearm and did what the National Rifle Association said he should have done. Although, of course, we know that the NRA only says these things when white people do it. They don't stand for the rights of Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians. They shoot back after attacking someone's home. What do you think somebody's gonna do if you kick their door in? In a state Well, carrying a firearm is not only legal, it's suggested. Everyone has firearms. If someone kicks this door in, there's going to be a firefight. The police didn't even have the right people. If I kick a door in and it's not the right people and I kill someone, I am at least what? And I keep telling you I'm gonna get some Jeopardy music on my class. I am at least what? I'm at least negligent. Now if the police want to say, you know what? We didn't want to kill them. We had to do the no-knock warrant, which we know would have been BS because it was the wrong place. But if they did it, at least they can say we were negligent though. She shouldn't have died, and that was terrible from us. Correct? I want to read some to y'all, man. If I may, you read this for me, Salakia. Read that voluntary manslaughter right there. Read that voluntary manslaughter, if you will, Baba Kushab.
Khan. Voluntary manslaughter is an intentional killing where the killer didn't previously intend to kill the victim.
So if I walk in, and if you walk in, I should say, and your rib is in the bed with another man, and in that moment you go crazy and kill him, that's really the definition of involuntary manslaughter. Go ahead.
On the other hand, involuntary manslaughter
Go ahead.
is an unintentional killing.
It's a what?
An unintentional killing
Go ahead.
that results from either criminal or reckless negligence.
So, why wasn't anyone charged in the Breonna Taylor with at least involuntary manslaughter, which I think, they better be glad I'm not no prosecutor, because I think it was murder. Because anytime you do a no-knock warrant, like I said, in a state that has gun laws to where more than likely the apartment you're going in, you say that they were bad dope dealers, you say that they were criminals, you say they was everything under the sun, so you should imagine that they have weapons, and whatever happened to the art of surveillance? Are you trying to tell me nobody watched them? Nobody said, hey, it's two people in the house. We think they sleep. Whatever happened to your technology to where you can call on the phone? You can get Brianna's number, you can get the house number, you can get whatever you want and say, y'all surrounded. But you didn't do that. So you premeditated a strike to kill. Because what are you going to do? Every one of those officers would have shot back if somebody would have kicked their door in. I don't give a damn what they yelled. But if at least by the very definition of your Kentucky law, why was it involuntary? Because you say you didn't intend to kill, but you did it through your negligence. But you don't charge that charge because of one reason. You haven't killed no goddamn body, man. These are black people. The people that you know, no matter what you do, they'll pray for fucking Ukraine. Salakia. They'll pray for Ukraine. You kick the goddamn door in, kill this young black woman, and they gonna pray for Ukraine. Then the other officer come in shooting 10 times, crazy, and it's not even reckless endangerment. So, no, nothing happened. In that whole case of you kicking in the wrong door, killing somebody, endangering a family next door, nothing happened? It's okay? This is why you never pray for the wicked. This is why you never do anything for their benefit, man. Maybe if we were praying and trying to get Breonna Taylor, her boyfriend, and the neighbors, whoever, in the truth, that never would have happened. They hunt our steps, man. And no matter, it's like it, and no matter what, they call themselves not guilty, man. No matter what. Call themselves not guilty. Because I can guarantee you one thing. They had a black attorney. Salakia, man. I be getting so mad I can't think sometimes. They had a black state attorney. I forget the official, whatever, but Secretary of State. He, the Attorney General, Salakia, the black Attorney General, listen. This man came out and announced the no charges. And he black. Of course, he got him a little old white woman and all that, but he's black. Do you think he made that decision by himself? He has an office of investigators, and there's a lot of people that come and tell him, look, sir, we can't do nothing. Because X, Y, Z. He could be like, no, this is this and that and the other. And they can rebel against him. There's so many things that can happen towards him because we are in a system where we are irrelevant, man. He couldn't help that sister get justice in a system designed to make sure she can't have justice. You could have had a black governor, a black mayor, a black attorney general. You could have had a black everything. This is still a white nation. They wanted their police to go home that night with no charges. And they did. There should be no prayers from Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians for Ukraine, Europe, any other nation. Our prayers should be for Black, Hispanic, and Native Indians, man. We got Native Indians on reservations today. We have Hispanics in barrios, blacks in ghettos, oppressed today. That can be lynched any minute. A white police shooting a black man running away in the back is a lynching. I understand you think it's just a noose. It's not. And you're going to pray for a country that they actually had a choice. He could have surrendered to Russia. But like, man, I'm not about to put my people in nothing. Man, look, I resign. We done. You can't stop dying. There's nothing you can do besides coming to the I.S.U.P.K. under Command of General Yohanna that's going to stop you from getting shot in the back by white officers that deep down understand they're going home. There will be no murder, no manslaughter. I was watching this comedian and it was funny, but it wasn't. But it's true. A man literally had to lynch somebody on camera to go to jail. It had to be 8 minutes. It had to be a short film of killing a black man for one white man to go to jail. our prayers for these other nations is disrespecting our king. It's disrespecting what Yahweh Shai Mashiach came for and did. It's very disrespectful, man. There should be no surprise why we are shot dead in the street. We are a disrespectful people, man. Christ stood up in front of that military power for you, and you pray for them. You want forgiveness for them. You want protection from them, and not protection for your own. You will throw your own black son, your own black daughter out on the street to the wolves, man. But pray for Ukraine. Pray for France. The Black Caucus will sit here and pray and put all of these different sanctions and vote for these sanctions against Russia, but won't help the Haitians, won't help the Cubans. Pretty much agree that they shithole nations. But you pray for Ukraine. Let me see if I got any more on that, man. I.S.U.P.K, Kentucky, man. We got classes on Monday. You can get it on the Kentucky page. We got classes on Monday. We got classes on Tuesdays. We got the Cry Out, Spare Not podcast on Wednesday. We're gonna have a scripture breakdown on Thursday. That'll be the only class that'll be a little later at 9, and the podcast will also start at 9 on Wednesdays. We have a Lashawan Kodash class coming up. That'll be like Fridays at 7. We have a Sabbath service that more than likely will be done every Saturday at noon. Get into this body, because we are still one body. Get into this body and understand that worrying about and praying what America loves is disrespectful to Christ, the greatest black man to ever walk this earth, who showed you the perfect way to live, who showed you how to function in the midst of the threat of a powerful nation, showed you how to do it, showed you how it's done, man, left a blueprint. But you'd rather pray for the people who killed him, man. The people who wanted him dead, and I'm talking about you Negro preachers, you Hispanic preachers, and I'm talking about your devil daddy, whom today don't care nothing about us, man. The I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General Yahanna is the only truth. And with that, I'm going to pass the class over. And real quickly, if I may, give a big hand to Precinct Officer Howard Marr. Big clap up to the mighty man and his raise up. I'm going to pass the class over to Precinct Prophet Howard Marr.
I.S.U.P.K security announcements. We are the I.S.U.P.K started out with 1 West Harlem, Salakia, 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister: when a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They're here to share themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. Another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes is a commandment, Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8-10, a tenth in the Hebrew. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory, whatsoever amount you would like. Upcoming holy convocations. It is the Lord's Passover.
That's right. That's
April
right.
15th, Cocoa Beach, Florida. We'll do a courtesy salute to the teacher. Majum Shabbat. Majum, Barak, Yahweh Bashim, Yahweh Shah Barakatah. Class dismissed.
ISUPK, Kentucky, man.